We are swinging wands and bringing Ranrock in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 199 of the Guardian Hub podcast, where we talk Destiny, interview guests, and talk about our love of the game. Sin, how you doing this evening? It's just you and me right now.
Yeah, I am well, sir. Been getting in my game time here for the last few hours, and after work this last week since a fun new game has released. How have you been?
Doing good. Yeah, that was a non-Destiny opening. So for those that are not aware, Sin added in a little thing at the beginning that has to do with another game that some people have been playing called Hogwarts Legacy, the new, not Harry Potter, but, you know, that world. It takes place beforehand. And a lot of people have been playing it and having some fun with it. I don't really have anything too interesting in my life, so I guess I don't want to talk about that quite yet. But and if you don't have anything interesting in life either, Sin, that's fine. We can go into games and stuff. But anything interesting otherwise?
Not really. Des might have interesting, though. Welcome, Des.
Hi.
Hurry. You just got here. Tell us what's new.
Things. Stuff.
Faster.
But actually, one reason I was late is we very recently had some leaks for Master Duel, so I've been reading over some things and then realized the time, and yeah, I'm here now. Bye.
Okay, so everyone, I was talking about this beforehand. This is funny. I messaged Sin and Des, the responsible one, saying I may be a little bit late. I end up being on time. They don't say anything, and they're the ones that are late.
Yeah.
It's all good. I just thought that was funny because I was like stressing, like I better message him, let him know I'll be late. Uh-oh.
I was watching. Again. I know he's coming for you, Kingsley.
Dang it! I thought that was just a joke. We actually do have the IRS checking over us again. Oh man! I promise we don't make enough money on the show to meet the threshold. What is it?
You get audited?
Yeah. Even so, this is non-salary compensation we're getting, but that's still at least, I think you have to make $600 a year. So we are not making that much money through Patreon, especially if you take out expenses. So IRS, you can go away. We don't owe you anything from the Guardian Hub. Oh man, we already have questions. I have a lot of people in chat. A lot of things going on. Where should we start? I mean, real quick, I do want to mention, this was funny. Lord Silent said, Kingsley, you just scared me. I was cleaning at work and out of nowhere I heard your voice. Now, okay, I do know when we start the live chat that it messages everyone, but certainly it doesn't just start playing automatically. I want to know, just in case it does, because that could be bad. Do you think you accidentally clicked on the notification, Lord Silent, and then that's how we popped up? Hoping anyways.
I do see a lot of people pop in as soon as we go live, and then they bounce.
You think so? Yeah. I mean, we're not trying to bug anyone, but hey, this is one of the main things we created the Discord for, was the podcast. So we don't use the everyone tag too often, but we will use it for podcast things. So feel free and mute that if you need. All right. Let's just skip the Hogwarts talk and go to Destiny. Dan, are you going to cry?
No, I have
just
something.
We can talk some other games too. Des, you did kind of tell us though. There's like a raid thing you were doing.
No,
reading about it. Sorry.
Yeah, there's upcoming cards because what about almost 4 weeks late? Konami is finally doing the first anniversary, or will be doing the first anniversary stuff for Master Duel. So that's
Okay.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Timing, though. But no, it's just we've had confirmation because of leaks from a Japanese magazine, V-Jump for those that are familiar. That basically, yeah, the it's going to be a dark time for Master Duel upcoming because we're about to hit that bad spot in the physical card games history where just there are basically 2 decks to play if you actually want to be competitive, and that's it. So yeah, things are about to funnel super hard, and yeah, it's like I said, we're on the precipice of that era in Master Duel now. So it's going to be interesting to see how it survives.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I'll tell you, if you were looking at the Discord earlier under the admin hosts area, I think I can safely say, I mean, there's plenty of times where it doesn't show our status, but this is probably one of the first times all 3 of us were playing another game other than Destiny at the same time. Yes, we'll get to Destiny talk. Don't you worry. See, this is the time of the season anyways. I probably wouldn't be playing much other than raiding. I always love raiding, and there's a lot of fun news coming up that we're going to get into. But yes, there's been this other game that we've been a little bit distracted about. So let's give it a few minutes. And you don't like it that much, right? You want your money back?
You talking about Hogwarts?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's good. It's and I've been a fan of Harry Potter. I got my oldest daughter into Harry Potter a long time ago. Now she's into this phase where she's not into it anymore. So when I showed her the game, she wasn't as interested. But I've been enjoying it. I think the overall story so far is really good, and the gameplay, the mechanics of it's good as well. So I think just for the simple fact, because it's Hogwarts, Harry Potter themed, that magical theme, I'm digging it.
Nice, yeah. It is pretty cool. I'll tell you, I've known about it coming up. Obviously, people have been talking about it. And then I watched a launch trailer or some other kind of trailer a week before it was coming out. I hadn't pre-ordered it. And if I was going to anyway, I was certainly thinking, well, I'd rather on PC because that's where I prefer to play my games. And then I'll just use a controller if it's a controller game. Then I heard that, there's an extra quest, PlayStation exclusive. I'm like, they're doing that crap again. And more I looked into it, PlayStation was the way to go. But I'm still like, okay, I'm not going to pre-order probably a game. I'll just get it day of, unless I hear the reviews are really good. Well, when the reviews started coming out, all basically 8.5s or higher, and most of them are like 9s or 10s. And I know reviews aren't everything, but because of that, and all you MFers, peer pressure, no, I'm just kidding. Mostly because of the reviews, I decided to buy into it. And I really like it also. It is a good game. It has the open world aspect. It has a story quest. It has side quests. It has skill trees. It has clothing, armor, everything you can do to kind of just make it kind of light RPG-ish and everything like that. And having a lot of fun with it so far. So I would say also it's well worth it. And I'm not even the biggest Harry Potter fan. I did read all the books when they first came out. I watched all the movies. And I enjoyed it, but I never went back and rewatched the movies too much or reread the books or got into all the lore. In fact, I didn't even know what house I was in if I had taken the quiz before. So I took it again. I'm Hufflepuff, by the way, hence my name, Kingsley Macklepuff, in the Discord right now.
Hey, that's 2 of us.
I know. Good company. And so many other people were getting Ravenclaw, and everyone's looking at me weird that I'm a Hufflepuff.
You are weird.
It's fine. It's fine. We had one of the handsomest characters because I joked. It's like, who's even a Hufflepuff when I first took the quiz years ago. But the site, for those that don't know, I forget even what the site is. But if you don't know, you can go be sorted because it was a big gimmick when they launched the Harry Potter site. Pottermore, I believe it's called.
Wizardingworld.com can also take you there.
Okay, well, that's fair. I think they originally called it like Pottermore. But no, so yeah, they'll sort you, and then if you end up in a lame house like Hufflepuff, it'll actually give you a bunch of information on like just the in-universe, stuff about Hufflepuff, such as, nerding out a little, but the least amount of dark wizards came out of Hufflepuff, which is interesting because you would expect it to be Gryffindor because main character house. And then sadly there was one famous Hufflepuff featured in the Harry Potter books. What was his name? Cedric Diggory, I believe.
Yep, Cedric. Yep,
Cedric,
but Nymphadora Tonks too. I'm down with her. She's a cool character.
Okay.
I bet you are.
Tonks. Okay. See, by the time those movies came out, I wasn't reading the books anymore. So I pretty much watched the movies instead of the books, even though hilariously I got my wife into the books because I told her, because I read up to like Order of the Phoenix in the books. And I told her there's so much more information in the books that the movies just either can't or don't cover or whatever. And there's just so much information.
Yeah. Des, we really need to watch out. IRS is still bothering us. IRS says they're Slytherin, so they're coming after us.
IRS would be a Slytherin.
Yeah.
Fitting.
Yeah. He wants to know if you know tax law because he's going to come against us unless you know tax law, Des.
Yeah, sure. I know tax law. Come, take all my debt from me, please.
Yeah, so we got a couple Hufflepuffs. I know a lot of the people that I usually raid with were saying you guys were Ravenclaw. Who's Gryffindor? Not the many, and then a couple Slytherins. But did anyone get Gryffindor that we know?
Not that I know of.
Kato, go take the quiz. Do it now, live.
Oh, Batman's a Gryffindor. Muffin says. Yeah, don't worry about taking the quiz, Rodimus.
No, do it now.
This isn't the Hogwarts Legacy podcast. We're just talking about at the beginning, but yeah, someone give Cato the link in the chat room. We hope to get an answer before the end of the podcast. IRS needs the link
Doesn't
too.
take too long. Actually,
Zane, can you get on that? Do we have Laz, our intern? He can get on that. I don't know if he's listening in tonight.
Peer pressure
I don't
hub.
know.
But that's not.
Got it right.
That's not the link. That's the link to the front page.
Yeah, but you can log in and take the quiz from there.
Here it is. /sorting hat. I'll give a better link than Sin. All right. So, yeah, and anyone listening to this after the fact, feel free and check out our live episode -199 if you too want to take the quiz, and you can let us know in that chat channel. But yeah, great game so far. At times, I feel like the talking choices are a little lame. I feel like no matter which one, I try to like go against the flow and pick like the rude choice, but then it just kind of takes me back to the loop of what I knew it was going to do anyways.
Yeah.
It's more just for kicks. It's not actually changing anything, the actual, story. But I said before too, there was this one side quest where some girl's standing on a dock looking over a lake. I'm like, what the hell are you gonna? She's like, help me. I'm like, you're not gonna jump in, are you? So I walk up to her, and she's like, my legacy, she didn't use the word forefathers, but like my ancestors stuff is like down at the bottom of the lake. Can you get it? I'm like, bitch, you get it. I don't want to get it. It doesn't sound like a fun quest. And then I get the stuff, and then it says, you have a choice to say, she's like, thank you. Can I have my item now? And you have an option of yes, or it was hard, please pay me, or no. I mean, it wasn't that simple.
Which one did you choose? I'm curious.
I chose the middle one. I should have chose no, but I'm sure even if I chose no, she would have probably come back and said something like, well, wait a second, I'll give you even more money. And then the story would just, force you to give it to her. Which one did you pick?
I just picked the give it to her one. The nice route.
Did she give you any money?
No.
See, so I got some money, and my guess is you would have gotten more money if you said no, but who knows? Maybe someone can let us know.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep. Interesting. All right. Hufflepuff gets an exclusive quest. What? Only Hufflepuffs? That's what Retro says in the chat. We'll find out more about that later, I suppose. I know the exclusive quest is on PS, PlayStation
yes.
only. But all right. Oh, everyone gets an exclusive house quest. That makes more sense. Thank you, Muffin. Thank you. Well, we'll talk about it here and there. We have a channel in the Discord also. But I want to get to a couple other questions about Destiny stuff, and then we can talk about stuff that is going on. But Retro started out the chat with a great question. How would you rank the D2 raid dungeon exotics on how good they are, or rather, what are your favorite or least favorites? We don't have to go through the full list if we don't even remember all of them, but
Anarchy is probably the one of the better ones.
Yeah, can you even
Not
say?
raid, though.
Yeah,
Now.
I know it was originally a raid. Let's just, for the purpose of this question, the ones that are still, raids or dungeons. I think for me, I'd probably go with Vex Mythoclast still from Vault of Glass.
Yeah, Vex is probably the best in the ones that are still tied to raids. Unfortunately, I just don't use a lot of them anymore. There's so many other choices out there, right? As far as when it comes to DPS or better choices in general, especially with craftable weapons out here. But as far as the best, I would agree, Vex.
Well, I mean, definitely the rocket launcher from Deepstone Crypt is good. It has its purpose. Mostly in the past, it's been Gambit purposes, but Eyes of Tomorrow. But it has its purposes. What was Duality? The sword. Yeah,
and then you have the bow,
much.
the new dungeon.
Definitely haven't gotten that.
Wish Under Bow from the other dungeon.
Yeah. And then Touch of Malice. No one's using that. Galahorn, definitely. Okay, Galahorn is up there too, for sure. Yeah. Maybe even probably better right now than Vex. Did Vex get nerfed a little bit? I'm trying to remember, but a lot of us stopped using it for one reason or another.
Yeah, Galahorn I still use every now and again. Speaking of raid exotics.
Yes. What have we been up to this last week?
Sorry.
Des, did you have it? Wait. You were muted. Any input, best or worst? Or do you care?
Exotics?
Raid and dungeons?
Wait, for raids and dungeons? I'm sorry.
We were just kind of going over Vex Mythoclast, Galahorn, just the current ones. We had a question from Retro in the show notes. So.
As far as for raids, I don't know. I really enjoyed, just to be, I guess, a little weird where answers go, Lament for Deepstone. That was a fantastic era.
Ones you earn. Yeah.
Oh, the ones you earn from them?
Yeah.
Eyes was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't great, but it was fun. So Eyes is up there for me. And I don't know, I really did enjoy, at least back in the day, like running Touch through Kingsfall. When it was the meta thing to use, because it was just so good in D1 Kingsfall. So those would probably be it, because I don't think I've ever owned Mythoclast like when it was absolutely busted, like ever. So I can't really speak on that one.
Yeah.
1000 Voices also is really up there for me. It was it's just fantastic and fun to use. So yeah,
it'll be interesting when they add the extra Scorch stacks too.
Indeed,
with the changes coming up. Yeah.
But no, yes, I was slightly distracted because I just realized Wizarding World and Pottermore are two entirely different things.
Okay.
Back when I did those quizzes, they were in Pottermore, so I had to migrate my Pottermore into Wizarding World.
Oh. Yeah, and then the game's all under WB, so you have to connect those things too if you want them to show up in game. So yeah, there's.
I'm already connected. Because of Mortal Kombat and Injustice are under WB games, so I have one of them that I could connect.
Yeah, Xenophage was tied to Pit of Heresy. I mean, that was a fun quest, and Xenophage was definitely pretty good.
Kingsley got me in that dungeon.
Of all the dungeons, I kind of liked that one the most. I mean, the Grasp of Avarice is a lot of fun too, but I like Pit of Heresy a lot.
A wall full of doors. King's like, pick one. Okay, this one? Nope, not that one. Wait, never. It's like, never mind. It's way down here. It's like, oh, screw you.
Yes. Oh man. All right, Sin. What have we been doing in the game?
As I eat a chip. Thanks for calling me out. My curse has finally been broken. I now have Touch of Malice.
Yay.
Yay. Sorry, are we supposed to be more excited?
Yes, I'm definitely more excited.
No, you're not. Are you really? Like,
yeah, I had to finish eating my chip there.
Like I said, you just put it away and you're not even using it now, right?
Correct. I have not even used it once, but it's done. I got it. The only thing I need to do with it now is get the catalyst, so at least that part's done.
See, now you don't have some big white whale to chase. Does it feel sad, or does it actually feel good getting it away?
It's good to get. It's good for me to get it done. It's one less thing I got to worry about in game. Destiny obviously is what I spend most of my time in anyway, but to get it done and to be able to do other things like what we've been discussing here, at the beginning of the show with, Hogwarts Legacy. It's nice to be able to jump into other games and experience other things. So for me, not having to go in and spend time and having to grind for it every single week, or
but you don't have to, and you can still play the other games. You're putting that false expectation on yourself.
I know, but I can focus on other things in game as well, like doing comp or doing Iron Banner, which I had done recently. Working on other character triumphs and things like that. It just really helps me spread my time out a little bit more. One less thing to do.
Well, I know Yoda doesn't have it yet, and Rodimus doesn't have it yet.
And I'm not sure. I don't think
so. You're not the
Nick
center of the universe, Sin. We're still going to help other people.
And I'll still jump into raid.
Yeah. No, but at a school you got it. And then I don't know if I did any raid this last week, but I did jump into a Grasp of Avarice with All Thumbs and Philip. That was a lot of fun. Hadn't done that for a while. Used Merciless was very good. Combo that with Linear Fusion or whatever on both the Ogre boss and the last boss, because you can get really close for both of those. So I think we easy 2-phased the last boss. Could like 1.5 phase total, and then the Ogre was like a 2-phase also.
Nice.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't think we've been doing too much. Anything interesting from the store this week? That's kind of like a little bit I want to do now from the Bright Dust and Bungie store. Did you look over those things?
I did not check those yet.
There's a cool ship called Ark's Courier, but I'm not going to buy it, but it is interesting looking. It's kind of a smaller one with an interesting looking wing. I already had the shader, Reef Regalia, and then that's on the front page. And then on the Bright Dust page, there is red light, green light, exotic, emote. It's not worth 3,000 for me right now. There is that square-looking Sparrow vehicle called Exu-14, really weird looking. And then Secant Filaments leg armor ornament I already had. Oh, and Divinity ornament. Anyone looking to get their Divinity red?
I might go log in and check that out. I've been buying more ornaments as they've been popping up, just because I haven't been spending my Bright Dust on much anything else really.
Yep. All right. What do you think Bungie will do when they hit their 10-year mark? Do you think they'll do some kind of cool event? That's a question from Three Fingers in the chat.
I kind of hope they do.
Well, I mean, they're kind of technically doing final shape for year 10.
Yeah, if you count everything, right? Because of Destiny 1 also. That's what I would probably count.
Well, I mean, the 10-year mark is September of next year.
So
isn't that crazy?
Of it. Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
no, it won't be the beginning. It'll be in the middle of Lightfall, but yeah, leading up to
but
it.
but yeah, that's gonna be like absolutely nuts though.
Oh, wait, September next year, so
Mhm,
24. Okay.
mhm.
Sorry, middle to end potentially. Who knows what's going to happen
Yeah,
with
because
Final Shape?
D1 released September 9th of 2014. Ah, that's nuts.
That is,
We're actually on the precipice of Bungie's like 10-year journey,
I
which
know,
is about to actually be a 9-year journey, but then they had to push it back to Final Shape.
but it kind of all basically worked out as perfect as you can imagine. I mean, 10 years plus or minus some half year or so.
Yeah, we'll be coming up to what, the last like 2 seasons of a Final Shape during the 10-year mark.
Yeah. Yeah, assuming things don't get pushed or they make that like I don't know why they'd make that one a shorter year or whatever, but we're right kind of in there, and it would be amazing if there's some grand plan, like things are just really getting crazy in the game and they somehow integrate that in.
Yeah, I don't know. Like normally, I might say maybe not, but I mean, but then again, I mean, I guess the entire like they had the entire like Bungie anniversary thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had some kind of like Destiny like anniversary pack slash event thing going on, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of, we're getting even closer and closer, of course, towards opening week of Lightfall.
Indeed.
Basically, by the time this comes out, couple weeks away. This coming Tuesday, we are having the ending quest, whatever they're calling it. I think they did have a name for it. Uh, it was kind of spoilerish, right? And then on the next TWAB, they took it away. It was like, well, I don't know what we need to say, but you know what I mean, Des, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that supposedly starts this Tuesday and runs for 2 weeks. So even if you aren't doing much in the game, everyone listening to this, be sure to at least check out, excuse me, if you can log in, check out that ending thing for the season, whatever it is. And then that will be leading up to Lightfall. And, live update from Cato in the chat, not from Sin, but live update. Cato is a Gryffindor.
Try hard.
Are Gryffindors allowed to be that grumpy?
Wasn't there a Grumpy Gryffindor? I mean, I have to say, not all. Like Harry's crew was like nice, sure, but I'm saying not all of them were.
Yeah.
Like Cho was kind of stuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Or was
So
she
you're
even a
saying
Gryffindor, or was she a
Cato is
Ravenclaw?
Cho?
What's
Wait,
in?
Cato is Cho.
like I said, Cho might have actually been a Ravenclaw.
That sounds right, but I don't remember.
Cho
Well,
Chang, blah blah blah. Sorry. Yeah, Ravenclaw. Fair enough.
all right. Well, hey, we had a Strand trailer. We had information on ability changes and super changes. And we had stuff in the TWAB confirming what's going away, which we pretty much knew. But now, in case anyone was still hoping against hope, we know for sure Operation Seraph Shield mission is going away.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to kind of expect that anyways because it was part of the seasonal content. But in case Bungie was going to change their mind last second, they're not. It's going away.
No. So you've got to finish this season.
Yep, got to finish it this season. But a lot of people have been hopping in it a lot, so hopefully not too many people are going to miss that. But just keep in mind again, anyone who has been playing a lot, any of the seasonal activities that you haven't done or seasonal quests throughout the last year, basically pretty much everything except for the main campaign of Witch Queen stuff, and of course all the explorable areas, that stuff's staying, but seasonal explorable areas are going away. And unless they already are part of the map of a bigger planet, But even they said like the areas of the helm are going away. My guess is the helm is changing up, or we're not going to have a helm, or who knows. But at least those wings are going to change. And if we're keeping the helm, you're not going to be able to go to the derelict Leviathan. All the missions and those seasonal activities are going away. So if you want to run any of that, member berry stuff, or well, I guess
Do
it
it
hasn't gone
now.
away yet, but do it now. Do it now for the. I mean, again, by the time you hear this, it's only a couple weeks left.
Mm-hmm.
But what good news do we have, or different news about abilities and supers? We can TLDR this. Yeah, if you want to take it, or I can TLDR it. It's not the TWAB, but they came out with an article yesterday. Yep.
Of course I read it. Kidding me.
Of course.
Questions, where did I put it?
I always just go to the Bungie website again, and then real quick, and then.
I know, I had it up, though. I had it up. All right, screw it. Doing it live.
Sin, are you playing Destiny or Hogwarts right now?
I loaded into Destiny.
You're in Destiny, yeah.
Yeah, I had to buy. I bought the Heart of Inmost Light ornament and also the Divinity ornament.
Excellent. I'm proud of you.
All right, so new things coming. The road traveled the path ahead. Bit of bad news is they are nerfing ability gains across the board, basically, from what I understand. In general, they say the regeneration provided by a tier 10 stat will be roughly equivalent to a tier 8 for Lightfall. So basically, whatever a tier 8 feels like now is how a tier 10 is going to feel like in Lightfall.
Mm-hmm.
For ability regeneration rates, also very specifically.
Yep.
So this is going to be your grenade, melee, and class ability regeneration rates. So like I said, whatever you're used to, like if you do have a tier 10 in one of those, like I said, get used to a tier 8 because that's basically going to be the cap. And yeah, starting in Lightfall, you'll be able to run all of the following ability regeneration mods at the same time and more freely be able to suck up multiple copies of each. This includes Bomber, Outreach, Impact Reduction, Utility Kickstart, Melee Kickstart, Grenade Kickstart, Invigoration, Insulation, Innervation, Hands-On, Ashes to Assets, and Dynamo. Which, if you don't know the mods that well, these are just a variety of regeneration mods that have been locked behind like the element division, essentially. It was like Bomber, I believe, was solar, and that was like use your class ability to get grenade energy, stuff like that. So yes, because they've said before, all of those mods will not have elemental affinities. Because I believe if I remember properly, they're moving mods to essentially armor type instead. So yeah, whatever piece of armor they'll go on, you can use any and all, because they are reducing the cost of mods across the board to try and make build crafting a little easier. But also good news is they are reducing the time for hunter dodges. So base cooldown will be reduced for marksman dodge from 34 to 29 seconds, and the gambler's dodge will be moved down from 46 to 38 seconds. I'm guessing to compensate for the decreased ability generation rates. Kicking that up just a little. All right, so more good news is they're going to be tweaking supers. I do believe this is something. Yeah, this is just like an initial touch. They are planning on something more in depth potentially to help the problem with roaming supers, because apparently they are seeing a decrease in use because it's just kind of not worth it. So at base, roaming supers, the maximum number of orbs that you'll be able to create with a roaming super will be increased from between 5 to 7 orbs at Lightfall. And then one-off supers. Oh, no, yeah, they're increasing from 5 to 7. Apologies. Yeah. So, more orbs for roaming super, while one-off supers like Nova Bomb and such will be decreasing from 7 orbs at most to 5. So that is one thing.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
We're already kind of seeing this a little bit, like in Kingsfall and a couple of the raids where it was always the option, but we're like, hey, let's in between DPS phases, let's have 1 or 2 people just do a roaming super to do ad clear and generate orbs. And so now we're going to get more orbs. So that's really good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely does give like the potential utility of having a roaming, or the potential, the utility of having a roaming super around just for a couple more orbs. That's always nice. They are also reducing the cooldown timer on Hammer of Soul, Daybreak, and Spectral Blades from 10 minutes and 25 seconds to 9 minutes and 16 seconds. So they're making those supers regenerate a little faster. A bunch of super changes. Word of Dawn. I didn't even realize it had a maximum health. Apparently Word of Dawn has a maximum health right now of 13,500. Wow. But come Lightfall, that will be reduced to 8,000. So nearly cutting that in half. But in order to compensate, damage dealt to the Ward of Dawn by PvE combatants will also be reduced. So at least in PvE, they don't want this Ward of Dawn change to really make an impact. I'm guessing they're just really wanting to make it not quite such a pain in PvP. They are apparently... I didn't fully read this. Against the ward. Because apparently against Ward of Dawn, energy weapons did 2.5 times damage, and kinetics just did flat damage. But now, regardless of damage type, all weapons will do 1.5 times damage to the Ward of Dawn. Armor of Light is also seeing tweaks. They're reducing the health from 425 to 300. It will inherit Void Overshield's 50% PvE damage resistance, which I believe is fantastic. And it will not negate precision damage come Lightfall. So yeah. They're also making some tweaks to Thunder Crash. Thunder Crash, they're trying to make it a little harder to use because you're going to be dropping a little earlier. And as far as the flyby, speak, Raven, speak.
The flyby.
The flyby incinerations, they're going to be changing that like hit detection to be a little more, or mostly in front of the super, so that way incinerations due to flybys will be more deliberate. And they are reducing the landing detonation size versus players by 20%. It's pretty massive. And on the opposite end of that, they're increasing PvE damage for Fist of Havoc by 20%. Which is going to be nice. Spark of Resistance, they're nerfing that to make it, I guess, a little, fairer. So the nearby enemy counts, the nearby enemy count in order for it to activate is being increased from 2 to 3. Which is fantastic. But the linger time will be reduced from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. So you need more people around, and it's not going that long. Daybreak. Good news here, because they took away the 2-minute flame path, so they're realizing, it doesn't last that long. So they're going to reduce the cost of super energy per swing of Daybreak, or to launch his projectiles from 10% to 6.5%, and they are increasing PvE damage by 25%.
This I'm really excited about, and
Right.
I was thinking about going back to Void a lot more next season. Of course, I'll be trying Strand, but I love the Icarus Dash that's built into the Solar subclass, and I've always wanted to like Daybreak more. And now, especially as a roaming super, an extra 25% against PvE, this will definitely have some utility that I'll be checking out.
Yeah, for sure. And then Phoenix Dive is getting a bunch of changes. So they want to make it, an enticing choice over the Rifts. Phoenix Dive's base cooldown will be reduced from 82 seconds to 55 seconds, which is massive. While Heat Rise is active, Phoenix Dive's restoration duration will be increased from 1 to 3 seconds. While Daybreak is active, Phoenix Dive's cooldown will be significantly reduced, allowing for rapid reactivations, which, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that how Phoenix Dive interacted with Dawnblade originally?
I don't remember.
Because, I'm one to say that because you can not only Icarus Dash more often, but if you're on the other end, you could Phoenix Dive, and Phoenix Dive got a detonation. But while Daybreak is active, come Lightfall, Phoenix Dive detonation maximum damage will be increased from 80 to 220. It's
Okay.
quite a lot. Also, incredible news. Physics will no longer kill us.
Goodbye, architects.
Yeah.
This is
Physics.
the best news.
Yeah,
That's what
physics.
news? Just because you could have said two things because of another reason, Sin, so I just wasn't sure what you were saying.
No, Crash Test Guardian section. That's
Yeah,
the
and
best
it's what news?
The best.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay. I want to say something at the end, but go ahead, Des.
Yes. Physics collisions damage, including Cabal shields slinging you towards a wall, will no longer kill you. They will leave you at 1 HP, though, so you will have to recover and be safe after such a thing. They did mention fall damage somewhere.
Yeah,
fall
right
damage will
above it.
still be
Yeah.
lethal. Yeah, fall damage will still be lethal, but they also plan on making fall damage non-lethal. They do want to kind of give in to. I don't know. I kind of liked the fall damage in physics. I mean, it's annoying to get physics, but I did kind of enjoy it because it did kind of bring out that whole, Guardians might die, but we pop right back no matter what. Of course, it's, aggravating in Darkness Zones, but that's another story. But yeah, they're going more for the indestructible Guardians rather than
Well,
reviving
Sin,
Guardians.
you said it's excellent news, but do you know that a bunch of Titans and Discords are all crying right now? We can't thunder crash people, or we can't shoulder charge people into the walls anymore.
That's the only downfall. But for the actual gameplay purposes, it's excellent.
But here's the
Sparrow
thing.
splashing.
Well, that's true too. But here's the thing.
Ooh.
The Titans, I mean, come on. Obviously, and probably the more annoying one anyways, which you can still do, but pushing people off cliffs, there's plenty of those areas in raids and stuff.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyways, get over yourself.
I'll still,
No one likes
I'll
the
still
shoulder charge
you
anyways.
off a ledge somewhere. Don't you worry.
Yeah, and then we'll kick you from the raid.
Meh.
You get two free shoulder charges per raid. Is that what the rule? I think Kato said once or something. Let us know, Kato, if you're still listening, or anyone else. All right, continue on. Yeah, let's get through the rest of this.
All right, so new fragments are coming because they alluded to this before. Some new fragments are basically replacing old mods and what they did or whatever. So we'll have for Arc Spark of Instinct, which while critically wounded, taking damage from nearby enemies emits a burst of damaging arc energy that jolts targets. Fun. And then Spark of Haste, you have greatly increased resiliency, recovery, and mobility while sprinting. That's going to be a popular one, I feel.
Mhm.
Solar. They gave us a tease about fire sprites last time. So they're telling us fire sprites are created by a suit of new and existing solar fragments and grant grenade energy on pickup. The Ember of Mercy, which is new. When you revive an ally, you and other nearby allies gain restoration. Picking up a fire sprite grants restoration. Dude, that sounds good. Right. Ember of Resolve, solar grenade final blows cure you. What?
Yay! So we don't have to use. We can use an offensive grenade on solar and also
Yeah.
get cure instead of a healing nade.
Yes. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was a charged with light mod, where using your grenade and getting a final blow gave you health, potentially. I forget what it was called, but I wanted to say that was a charged with light mod.
Telling you, solar is looking really good for next season. Other than, of course, checking out Strand.
Right. Ember of Tempering will also create fire sprites on solar weapon kills, in addition to its original effects. Ember of Combustion and also Ember of Searing will also be worked to make fire sprites, in addition to what they already do. Void, again, a new element item, which I really like the fact that they gave all the elements like their own items, or pickups or whatever the crap you want to call them. Void Breach. Void Breaches are created by, of course, fragments, and grant class ability energy on pickup. Echo of Cessation is new, where finisher final blows create a burst of void damage that causes nearby targets to become volatile, and defeating volatile targets creates a void breach. My God. That sounds like such a fun loop. Echo of Here we go again. Echo of Vigilance, which is also new, where defeating a target when your shields are depleted grants you a temporary void overshield. And then Echo of Domineering, Echo of Harvest, and Echo of Starvation will all be modified to grant void breaches in addition to what they already do. And that's it.
That's the news. Well, that ability is news.
Yeah. Like I said, I really do. I enjoy that they're using these items to create more identity between the elements. Because it started off with stasis, because I believe stasis shards are mainly a melee regeneration boost. And then arc is what? Speed, right? Mobility.
Yeah.
When you pick up the ionic traces, there we go. So fire sprites will be grenade energy, and then void breaches are going to be class ability energy. So I like the fact that they're kind of tunneling, these classes into things, but also at the same time they are opening up a lot. Because again, like you said, with this new Ember of Mercy, Resolve. With Ember of Resolve, you can use an offensive grenade and probably get a slightly less effective cure. So you're not really pigeonholed into using healing grenades, even though you might start getting pigeonholed into using grenades a little more often in solar. So, a little bit of a give and take.
Yep. All right. In the TWAB, the main thing I was interested in, and then anything else we need to add, was they gave us some late breaking resonant and weapon crafting things. Did you see that?
I probably skimmed right over it because it's kind of a light TWAB.
They said
I'll let you TLDR this one.
They're removing the deep side attunement objective altogether. Does that mean we don't have to collect the red borders anymore? Or is that just the crafting element? I'm trying to remember what that verbiage means.
They mentioned this before.
Yeah. Well, we know they're removing ones that cannot be crafted will not drop as a red border. They said that they're going to be completely removing resonant elements from the game. That's the
Yeah,
the
that's
element
the
or whatever
currency.
the currency. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
and just they said regular currency such as glimmer, enhancement cores, etc., will replace those costs that existed today, but we will also be removing the deep side attunement objective altogether. Um, I'm trying to
Maybe,
remember.
if I'm not mistaken, I believe they mentioned basically just getting the deep sight to drop would
Mhm.
be enough to like uh, count towards, having basically it was just getting a red border to drop. It counts,
Yeah,
if I'm not
that's what I'm
mistaken.
getting at. Do we just need to get one drop now? Is that what this means, or am I reading that wrong? And somehow we might still have to get 3 or 5 or
You
whatever.
might you might still have to get 3 and 5, but you don't have to use the weapon. You just get it. From my understanding, you get the weapon, it counts right then and there. So you don't have to attune it.
Yeah.
You don't
Well,
have
we
to
didn't
do
have
anything.
to anyways. They had that in between thing where we could just dismantle it right away.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So that's why I was just getting confused. But
I have no idea anymore.
I don't
Because
know
I forgot
either.
about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we'll find out in a couple weeks,
We'll
right?
find out. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I just that was one interesting thing there. Prime Gaming Twitch drops their Sunshot and the Red Dwarf Sunshot weapon ornament. Definitely pick those up if you do not have Sunshot for some reason or you want
Yeah,
another copy of it, or the ornament. I mean, we also know that
ornament is good.
Sunshot is getting some fun things added to it next season, so definitely check
Yeah,
that out.
it'll have Solar 3.0 verbiage. Or does it? Wait, is Sunshot already one that they did
No, it's
3.0
coming.
verbiage?
It's
It's
Okay,
coming.
coming.
okay,
It'll apply stacks of scorch.
okay, okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, so if you don't have it, grab it. If you don't have that ornament, it's fantastic. You should grab it. It's actually my favorite sun. It might be the only Sunshot ornament, but it is my favorite Sunshot. Like, look.
So here's the latest voting, and now I guess this isn't a final vote. They're just telling us where it's at. But for the the spiders and beetles for the next Halloween event, hunters have 56% of the vote for Team Spider. So the hunters like the spider a little bit more, I guess. And then
I can agree with that.
Titans are Team Spider 72%. I guess everyone
Mm,
likes the idea of those big spider arms coming out of the back.
that is true, but I do kind of like the general aesthetic of the beetle better on Titan.
And yes, I'm so happy. Warlocks broke the mold altogether with Team Beetle taking 53% of the vote. The Beetle and the Warlock looks so much better than the Spider one, so I'm
It
glad
does.
the Warlocks picked the right one.
Yeah, the only one I don't agree with that's like winning or not is legitimately Titan.
Yeah. And I like
Because
the Hunter Beetle too.
I like the Hunter Beetle, but I like the Spider Hunter more.
Mhm. Yep. All right. Well, and the only other thing they said in the TWAB, they gave us a little update earlier in the week too, is they found some latency issues that they fixed on the server,
Yeah.
their servers. So that's kind of good news. I guess there have been some things that they found out that were issues on their side, not just
Makes sense.
we can't always blame people's internet. I still think we can 90% of the time if they're having an
I
issue,
mean,
but Bungie did find some issues and they
like
admitted to it.
legitimately out of all the issues, because I never had great internet. But out of all the issues, I would say probably no more than 20% could potentially be Bungie's fault.
Yeah.
Everything else is entirely mine on my end. So, but yeah, it is good to see that they are like doing the footwork. It's like 9 years late, but whatever.
Yeah, and it's cool that they admit to this too. I mean, some
Yeah,
game developers would just be not say anything, and then maybe it's getting better, and people are like, "Yeah, it's getting better," but no one's talking about it. Maybe it was something on my side, And
right.
then,
Maybe it was something. I did get that new router recently.
yeah. All right. Well, if you have any other last minute questions for us, let us know. IRS. Anyone else get that message last night? Are you scaring us again? I don't know what you're talking about, but get out of here. I mean, you're
We
welcome
don't
to be
take
here,
kindly.
I guess.
We don't take kindly to your type around here.
Yeah. We don't want the IRS over here.
Or I could complete the entire feel and go, we don't take kindly to your type around here, boy. But anyway,
And boy. Random message in Mandarin.
That happened.
Oh,
with me.
that thing. Yeah.
When I
That,
logged in today.
yeah, Bungie told us again. I know a lot of people don't check the Destiny issues and news and everything like that, but they told us pretty much right after it happened. They told us my time 10:41, so just about 40 minutes after the reset. Earlier today, an in-game message in simplified Chinese announcing upcoming audio localization was erroneously sent to all players of all languages. Players can disregard this message. So yeah, if you logged in today, you'll see on the first screen a message in Mandarin Chinese saying stuff that obviously probably most of us don't understand. I would have just assumed it was also a bug also. Supposedly some people started freaking out. Oh, come on, people. Unless it's happening to everything in the game. But yeah, Bungie did tell us pretty quickly it was just a little bug. So no, Destiny's not changing the whole game to Chinese only.
no.
Yeah, they're going to take it offline for 24 hours on the 27th just to fix it.
Just to fix that? It's already fixed. My game's in English right now, Sin.
It's a joke.
I know.
They're still taking the game down on the
Yes, they
27th.
Yes, they are. And this isn't the first time.
It
When I was-
won't be the last.
And it won't be the last. Well, thanks everyone for joining us this evening. And again, we have a lot of exciting things coming up. We're really getting close. Lightfall, a couple weeks around the corner. We'll have more information in our next podcast too when we test out the last mission and see what that's all about.
Oh god, and the strandability video. I would just like
Oh,
to
yeah.
say, it turns out threadlings look freaking awesome.
Yeah, Warlock Threadling spiders, whatever.
Those things look freaking cool. But yeah, otherwise, yeah. I mean, I think about 90% of that trailer was kind of expected, Spider-Manning around. I
Mhm.
believe somebody took notice that perhaps the anchor point for the swinging isn't actually attached to physical objects and might just be a generated point in the air, which just might be the simplest way to do it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because
It makes sense.
attaching tags to existing architecture can just be, just for the sake of exploration. I mean, that's got to be an absolute pain.
Yeah. No, yeah, that makes sense. But it's a good question you bring up on that video. Hopefully everyone's watched that Strand trailer, and watching that or not, let us know if you are considering trying a new character as your semi-main or switching for Lightfall. Like, let's say you're normally a Warlock and you're going to try Hunter, or you're normally a Titan, you're going to try Warlock because of the Threadlings or whatever. Let us know. I'm just curious. It doesn't mean you're going to switch to it forever, but if you are considering switching characters because something looks really cool, no shame to that, and let us know.
I also really enjoyed that they've really started leaning into the whole warrior monk feel for Hunter, and they get a freaking rope dart. How weeaboo can you be?
Yep.
The answer, rope dart. That weeaboo.
That Weavy, yeah. I mean, yeah, we're already getting some responses live too. Prime's gonna do Titan, and RNG Gator will start with Titan, but Hunter looks fun. Yeah, it does. And IRS, okay, I like you a little bit because you said I'm a Hunter main, but I'm gonna try Warlock.
It's fair. Like I said, those threadlings look cool, and apparently there was additional information or whatever that they if you send them out, they'll chill on the warlock if enemies aren't around or something like that.
Mhm.
I'm not entirely sure that information because again, memory isn't the best. But that just sounds wicked.
It sounds amazing. All right. Any last live updates? Sin, what are you doing? That sounds weird, but in Destiny.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm in orbit.
Oh, come on. That's boring. You should make something up then.
Why would I make something up?
To be interesting.
Yes, I'm adjusting my shaders on my newly acquired ornament for Heart of Inmost Light, which I did do that already. I'm not doing it currently. I have not applied my Divinity ornament yet, but I did unlock it. I purchased it and then did the unlock portion. And
Ooh.
that was about it.
Well, one last piece of information, exciting news. We have a resurrection of the Blueberry Lounge podcast with a new co-host. If anyone remembers, Blueberry Lounge is Mr. Sweaty Spooks. And guess who the new co-host is? Someone we already know in our community. Native Raider. Congrats, man. So check out Blueberry Lounge. They have a Discord. They're starting up with their podcast again. And they are in the Owl Sector Alliance, so part of the 100 bot system also. So shout out to all of them and check out their podcast.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family. Now pay your dues or we're going to break your legs.
I take payment in the form of a new PC. I will send you the specs, and I want it in 30 days.
Mm-hmm. Or else we're going to send after you to break your legs.
I'll send the IRS.
Yes, we're going to send IRS after you. That's scary enough, right? All right. All right. Some interesting pictures in our chat.
I tried.
Well, thanks everyone once again. Thank you. Well, let's just do. I don't say thank you to you guys until we do our call outs at the end. Des, where can people find you?
You can, of course, find me. You can find me on Twitter at @DS_Raven, which, as I advised someone today, it's a bit, sure, but there's a reason I'm not installing Twitter. It's just really nice. Like, to be honest. I mean, sure, the people I follow are usually some like pretty cool and chill dudes, and some pretty good like opinions and such that I can agree with. But at the same time, I mean, you know, you still get like a taste of like that negative, and if it doesn't appeal to you, just cut it off. Just do away with it. So yeah, but of course you can find me predominantly chilling out in the Discords, where I do my best to be a creeper and lurk and respond when I'm needed. So yeah, Sin.
Well, they can, of course, find me slinging my wand over in Hogwarts Legacy, Twitter, Sin_media, or in the Discord, next to you two lovely gents. Kingsley, Hufflepuff, thread-weaving, slinging Macklemore. Take us out.
Love it. Love it. You can find me as Kingsley Mac all the places. I am on Twitter. I am occasionally streaming, mostly when I raid. Blah, 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 blah. But more importantly, you can find our show, Twitter a little bit, where we just post new episodes as the Guardian Hub. But you can find everything about us, how to join our Discord, how to subscribe to the podcast in different ways, how to join the clan, information about the different hosts, all the information you want from our lovely website, theguardianhub.com.
The best hub on the net.
Thank you, Sin. Thank you, Des. Thank you,
Kingsley.
everyone, for listening week after week. You're welcome, Sin. Have a good one.
Bye.
Later.